Okay, so first I'm just going to start off by laying this on her face and just kind of seeing exactly where I want to place it and whatnot. Then I'm going to take this tissue and I'm just going to tear the layers in half. And then I'm going to go ahead and start to use liquid latex to stick that down to her face. So first I just laid the liquid latex down, and then I am pressing it against the liquid latex on her skin and then holding it there for the liquid latex to set before I move on to the next part, especially around her nose area where there's a lot of like curves in her face. You want to make sure that you're holding it down until that liquid latex really sets. Otherwise it's just going to pop right back up. And then I'm just going over the edges of the zipper, like where the vinyl is, and I'm just layering that with liquid latex to make sure that it sticks down really nicely. If I can say liquid latex. And just doing the same thing on the other side. Now I'm just going to tear my tissue in half, and then tear it in half again, and then tear it in half one more time. We're going to be using this just on the edges of her face to create that nice smooth transition from that vinyl to her skin. So I'm starting just by laying down a little bit of liquid latex, and then I'm laying down that tissue on top of it, and then actually going over that tissue and just completely saturating it with that liquid latex. And then I tore off a little bit because I didn't like the way that it looked. I felt like I was getting a little too close to her eye. You want to be really, really careful here since we are working closely to the eye area and also around like the eyelashes and the eyebrows and such. Just be careful that you're not getting it in the model's hair or the lashes or anywhere really close to the eyes. So I'm just doing the same thing. I'm laying down liquid latex, laying a tissue on top of it, and then saturating it with the liquid latex to really build up that skin around the zipper. Again, being very, very careful around the eye area, making sure not to get the liquid latex too close to her eye because the liquid latex is very, very strong and you like scent wise and also adhesive wise, so you don't want to be putting that on the delicacy of the eye area. So now I'm just going back and I'm layering more tissue with more liquid latex until I like the transition that I've created. Now I'm going back and kind of peeling that up a little bit from the inside out, making sure to hold down the edges as I peel it up on the inside so that we don't peel it up too far or pull too much off. But I want to loosen that up to really make it look like loose, flappy skin. So now I'm just going over her entire face with a blow dryer just to kind of help speed up the process a little bit. We want to make sure that everything is nice and set before we start painting over it. So now I'm just going over all of everything that we laid down, especially any areas where there's white and maybe even the vinyl a little bit. I'm just using concealer to help blend that in with her natural skin tone. Right here I started to apply it to her jaw area, but then I realized that I'm just going to be bloodying that up, so then I stopped and went back and concealed the rest of the face. So now I'm just going to be creating a pretty basic smoky eye. There's a lot of videos on YouTube about how to create a smoky eye, even on my channel if you want to go back and see them, but I'm not going to get into depth with what exactly I'm doing here because it's not really the whole point of the video, but I thought I'd just at least show you guys what I did. I'm just kind of layering some browns and blacks and building it up until I like the way that it looks. I just kind of liked the idea of her being like pretty, you know, like kind of glam-ish, and then having the ripped face. So that's what I decided to do. I also lost the last half of this footage, so I showed as much as I had, and then we'll move on. So now I'm just using a red grease paint to go underneath that zipper, and then also fill in her face completely underneath the zipper and down her neck and whatnot. And then also using a brush to get in any tight areas like the lips and around the nose, and of course under the zipper as well. And then I'm just blending that all the way down her neck. You don't have to be, in fact, I would recommend not being super precise with this. Just kind of make it messy down as you blend it down the neck, because you don't want any clean lines. It's supposed to look bloody and messy and gory. So I just kind of left it at that. Now I'm taking some black grease paint, black and brown I believe I used. First taking the black and applying that right underneath the zipper to create that depth, and then I'll be taking that on a sponge as well to kind of dot it all over the red to kind of create that dimension and just a little bit more detail and make it look less like, well, ketchup. And next I'm going in with that fake blood. I would definitely recommend using something like scab blood for this rather than the kind of blood that I used. I just used kind of basic blood that you can get pretty much anywhere. So it dried down pretty fast and it didn't look quite as real as I wanted it to. So I would do something like scab blood, but this is just what I had on hand. But I still feel like it looked pretty good. So next I'm just going over the edges of that just to create like some irritation and some bruising and whatnot. So I'm just layering some purples and blues and reds to really create that irritation. And then the latex kind of created these natural vein-like creases, so I also just wanted to enhance those and make them look a little bit more veiny. So you'll see me kind of go on the outer edges with my brush and kind of enhance that detail. And here's I'm doing that detailing. And this is the finished look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you learned something new. Happy Halloween. I'm so excited that it's October. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Make a scary noise.
Like what? I don't know. Give me an example.
Oh, that's good.